and welcome to the final round coverage of the MPO lead card here at the 2026 Berlin Open presented by Innova. I'm Chris and by my side is Andrew this time.
Hello.
Yeah, looking forward to a very exciting final round here. I think it's a close game.
Very close game. We're in Berlin at Volkspark Rehberge. Also, you can find us on social media there or check out our previous coverage as we're getting into some commentary. Here is our lead card, our characters for today. You see, it is a very close game going into the finals with Martin have a one-stroke lead over Timo. And you'll see as we go along, if you didn't watch last year, we select 9 holes out of the 18 to play as our final 9.
And starting off here on hole 1, 98 meters of par 3, it's probably the easiest hole on the course, I would say. Anything is possible, sidearm, backhand. There's just this tree that you see there in the middle that you want to avoid. I think we'll see 4 birdies straight away. That's my guess.
Yes, representing Disc Golf Store and Together Better Disc Golf, Martin! Sorry, Steven.
We'll see what Martin can do.
I think Martin is going with a mid-range here. Looks like his Glacier.
Oh, wow. Almost at a skip ace to start us off.
But I might be wrong, so Martin, if you see that, please leave a comment.
Been a driver? Yeah, not sure.
All right, coming next to the tee with a score of -22, representing latitude 64 and cross lap, Timo Hartmann.
So here's our reigning German champion, Timo.
Yes. And I believe represented at the World Games. Is that
yes.
correct? Maybe also with Wiebke, I think. Again, comment if I'm wrong. As we watch Timo's shot here, I also want to give a shout out to Stephen Defty, who I'm standing next to there holding the lead card sign, who's one of the pillars of sort of the Berlin disc golf community.
Into the final round with a -20, representing Kasterplatz, Heisernotz, and Disc Golf Munich, Carl Rose.
Oh, here's Carl. He's a bit on fire lately, winning quite a few tournaments. So I'm pretty excited to see his throws.
And a fellow commentator. So impressive to be able to do both, win tournaments and commentate. I only have one of the two so far. But we'll see. And you see why he's winning tournaments. That's a great tee shot.
Yeah, he says it here, lucky one.
Oh, yeah.
Beats the tree.
Next on the tee, coming in with a -11, representing Barney Boys, Toby Voss.
Oh, Toby. Toby's such an interesting player. He has such a huge distance.
Yeah.
It's just incredible to watch him play.
And so it's an MVP disc. I'm not sure which one, but going with the sidearm. If you watched our FPO coverage, we talk there's a bit more room on the left side there, but cuts in too early, hits a tree, but still, I believe, circle 1 putting.
Representing Birdie Shop and Black Ace Disc Golf, Ben Skibba.
And here we have Ben. I know he's super excited to be in coverage. I think it's his first time.
First time on coverage, nice.
And I'm so happy to see him just in front of me and throw a disc.
Yeah.
That looks really clean. I think the safer shot is the sidearm here.
Ooh.
Wow, and pretty much parks it.
Yeah.
The first shot on coverage, parks it.
Yeah, great shots from our lead card. You see why they're the lead card.
Yeah, Timo a bit far away.
Yeah. Oh, that was close, though. That was a good bid. So again, Martin coming in to the final round with a 1-shot lead. And with a cage hit there, Martin has a chance to open it up right at the start. Unfortunate from Toby.
Yeah, he's got to go again with a tester here.
Oh, a chain out.
Fortunately,
It's not how you want to start your final round. We did see, there where you see again the gallery.
nice birdie.
Great birdie from Carl, great drive. Really lovely to see the gallery growing year to year. Yeah, there we go. Martin gets the birdie, extends the lead to 2 shots.
So Martin played here last year, I believe. So I think he knows his course really well. And he used to live in Berlin.
Used to live in Berlin. Briefly was a co-trainer with Martin. I always like to shout that out because I'm close to a celebrity of Martin. But yes, no, it was great. I enjoyed training with him. Always very kind to me as a more average player, helping out. So,
and quite impressive. Ben also got a birdie.
Yeah, so this one played as the easiest hole, followed up by the second easiest hole, hole number 7 on the regular round, hole 2, of course, for final round. Plays just 69 meters, but it, again, doesn't play as the easiest, and you'll see because of this giant, beautiful tree that you have to play around. Most players opting to go around the tree, or you can try to go through this gap just left of the Mando, which Martin tries. And Martin succeeds. Oh, that's a great line.
Oh, that is such a tough shot, and you have to really, really brave, I think. The gap there is just a meter wide.
Yes.
And this is, I think, the conservative route.
Yeah, you see it most often, I would say.
But to have a birdie look from there is so hard. Because initially you have a low ceiling, but then you have that tree and you have to get around it really wide.
And only 69 meters, it's hard to get something on enough anhyzer for backhand or hyzer for forehand to cut in enough around the tree. But we'll see he plays low.
And that is an interesting skip you don't see too often because the ground there is kind of loose and you just don't see any skips. Exactly.
Yeah. So this one is sort of a gamble hole. You either play the safe, big, wide shot, or you try the gap, or you try the skip play, and you see why it's a gamble. It worked for Martin. Unfortunately, it didn't work for Toby there.
I think Toby had a berg in his hand.
Yes, it did look like a berg.
So berg doesn't really fly. So you have to you have to really rip it to. I mean, it's downhill, but you still need to rip it 69 meters.
Yeah.
It won't fly by itself.
Right. I believe a berg is like a 1 speed or something like that. It's quite low speed.
I'm not sure.
It's a fun disc if you've
It's definitely a 1 glide.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, almost.
I'm not sure if it's a 1 glide, but it flies like a 1 glide disc.
Yeah.
All right, Timo here with the chance for his first birdie. Weak side, left.
With confidence, but chained out.
Yeah, Timo going, 0 for 2. I think he is not too happy about it.
Yeah, you can already see some frustration.
And you mentioned it. I think Timo, he played in the European Championships and finished second.
Okay.
Just into Niklas Antila. So he had a great run there.
Yeah.
Timo is a great player. He is I think he's the favorite here to win this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. When I moved to Berlin and sort of asked, who are the great German players, Timo is the name on everyone's lips. So great to see him out here on lead card. Tap and par from Toby. As we head to one of my favorite holes. We debate, there are 2 iconic holes, and this is one of them. Hole number 4 in our final round, hole 10, typically it played at 100 meters during the regular rounds, but the finals, they back it up a bit to 125. So you have to throw it pure straight. We're up for some beautiful shots here from our lead card, but it is a tough LA to hit. As you can see down here, trees right and left. You can see the gallery starting to form at the end. So there's the pressure of the crowd, there's the trees. Let's see what they can do here.
So we don't have any drone shots here on this course, but fortunately we got you on the side,
giving us
a little preview,
sideline reporting. Yeah.
So Martin going with a mid-range here.
I think that one was the Glacier.
Yes, for sure. That's a conservative shot. You mentioned it. The basket is further back compared to the regular rounds, but also it's a par 4 instead of a par 3.
Yeah.
Wow. Ka really trying to go for it.
Go for the eagle. It is so hard to throw it straight.
And this is a very risky shot because once you hit a tree, you're off the fairway, and normally you don't have anything left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ben going for it.
Ben really wanted to rip that.
And you see exactly what we talk about. So you can, in the finals, you can try to play it conservative where, mid-range or putter, layup, maybe get a birdie. Or you could try to go for eagle.
Oh, nice flip up here by Timo.
Timo's maybe going for.
But turns a bit too much.
Probably eagle out of play, but birdie's still in play. But what can happen, unfortunately, so with Ben, you hit one of these trees and it can really soar way off into the distance, and you can easily end up with double bogey, triple bogey.
That was early out of the hand. And since Toby has so much power, I mean, he's gone.
Yeah.
His disc is gone.
Yeah.
And here on the side, there's a slope, so you have a bad stance, and you have all the trees in front of you.
Yeah, actually, the previous hole you might recognize.
But, Andrew, there's no OB.
There's no OB. And that's something that we like to talk about this course. Steven, Defty, and Frank talk about that, there's no OB on the course. There's actually one little spot for like a service place, but otherwise, no OB. So wherever you land, you got to throw from there.
And we always wonder, why is there no OB? Because nowadays, you see a lot of courses that just have lots of OB.
Yeah.
And Frank's simple answer is, well, that's how it used to be back in the days.
Yeah.
And this is a very historic tournament. It's already the 38th edition.
Great. Interrupt you for a great approach shot there.
Absolutely. Phenomenal.
Great recovery. But yes, you were saying 38th edition.
Yeah.
A lot of history.
So a couple of... this is a good layup.
Good layup.
For birdie. A lot of great names played here. Simon Lazard, Avery Jenkins, Kyle Rose.
Yeah, going for the eagle.
Yeah, and look at that gallery.
Yeah, I love this hole. It's great to watch as a fan.
Team also going for it.
Almost hit our catch cam.
Oh, did he hurt himself a little bit there?
I'm not sure. I mean, you see that his elbow is wrapped, and I didn't get to talk to him about it, but I wonder if there is some pain there, an injury he's working through.
Yeah, I think Toby, he never made it to the fairway. He played off the fairway all the way to circle one.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Great image of the gallery there. Great putt for birdie. He's back in it. You see any of those red shirts? Those are our volunteers. Unfortunate bogey there for Toby, but I say it every time. Love our volunteers. This would not happen without them. A lot of work goes through it. So thank you to them. And great birdie.
Martin with a turkey. 3 for 3, perfect round, perfect start into the finals. Impressive. Oh, very interesting. I think there was something distracting Carl, so he reset.
Took a little pause. It's a good thing to do, because sometimes when you got a close putt, you just think, I'm just going to go for it, and you can make mistakes that way. But yeah, want to introduce us to this beautiful hole?
Yeah, now we got our famous Rodelbahn, a par 4, 256 meters. Sloping down, there's a fairway that is 30 meters wide. Right and left, there are just trees. So all you have to do is hit the fairway if you want to have a chance for birdie.
That's easier said than done, I think.
Yeah, you see the branch right in front of you. There's this low hanging branch. So what you see a lot is a backhand Anheuser.
Oh, can it hold it? Can it hold it?
It's holding. Yes, well done.
Oh, that's great.
So an Anheuser out of the hand, and then you hope it stables up and ends up somewhere in the fairway.
Yeah.
Super risky shot would be a Heiser flip up to flat, or actually to have it turn.
also maybe can hold it. We're holding our breath because what happens often for us average players, you try that Anheuser shot and it can flex out. You end up in the trees left, or you overturn your
Here,
Anheuser.
Timo told us, I think, he wanted to go all the way, so this will be a super rip. He needs to get this turned. It does
too high.
not.
It's too high.
Now, this has a lot of distance, but
Yeah.
a lot of distance into the forest.
Yeah. So it's
Unfortunately.
exactly what we said. It flexed out into the woods, and so probably deep in there to get out to the fairway.
Turn a bit more. Yes.
Ah, you see it drifting to the right, which is good in this case.
And come down, hurry, hurry.
Oh, it's going to be tough footing, but that's a great distance.
Yes, there's a little gap. Down there, Andrew, you see that path. That's what you aim for.
Yeah.
Getting behind that path, that's a great
That's
shot.
a crush, yeah. Which I have never done, but that's okay.
Ooh, this is super flat out of the hand and just sails into
The trees.
Well, but Toby's got a lot of fans.
Yeah. Looks like maybe dropped into a decent position.
Aye, that's not too bad.
Yeah, he had a bit of a run up there.
How did you find this gap?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, good second shot.
Oof. That's a tough run up.
Tough run up. And I believe those are all nettles, Bryn Nestles. So not a pleasant stance.
But fantastic shot. Wow. That's insane. With
Almost
that
threw it
footing.
in for eagle.
Ben off the knee.
As we talk a bit about nature, we mentioned it on FPO coverage, but on MPO as well. We had to change some things due to nature. The oak processionary moth or oak processionary caterpillars have quite painful hairs that actually ended some people in the hospital last year. So we moved it up a month. Wow, great
This
shot,
is
Martin.
just so perfectly played.
Yeah.
Parks it with the second shot. And
Beautiful from Martin. Really puts the pressure on Timo here.
yeah, he said it there. It's not, well, let's put it this way. It's not the best shot, he said.
Yeah.
You don't need to look,
Okay. Yeah.
but definitely you have to look for the disc. So I followed Timo along here off the fairway, and oh boy, it was so rough. There was not much for every single shot.
And I just wonder what's going through his head. He already lost a couple strokes to Martin on the first two holes. Got the birdie on the last one, but in the woods where Martin's on the fairway, I maybe starting to feel it slip away.
And here you see he still doesn't really have a look.
Yeah.
I think the best he can do, is sort of pitch it out.
Yeah. Which, honestly, was a decent pitch out from where
For
he
sure,
was.
yes.
But,
Andrew, this course is so inviting. As we said, there are no OBs. So if you play it conservatively, I think the pars are rather easy.
Yeah.
But since there are no OBs, it's so inviting. You always want to get that birdie.
Yeah, but it can come back to bite you. Where, if you went OB, you take your one penalty stroke, but you're not lost in the woods. Where we saw 3 shots to get to here.
Yeah, and this is for bogey already. Wow.
What a bogey save! That was
What
great.
a save. I mean, he's not too impressed, but
Yeah, you can see some
that
frustration.
was so impressive.
I mean, from being one of the top players, probably has high expectations, and to get a bogey on this hole when probably hoping for a birdie or even an eagle, it can be tough. Let's see what Carl can do here.
Now I believe that's already his third throw.
Yeah.
Ah,
Good bird.
perfect execution.
I think that's what they were all dreaming for, have an easy birdie at the end. Good par from Toby, especially with being in the trees off the tee.
And Martin he's got 4 meters left. Yeah.
4 for 4.
He's so locked in right now.
Yeah. Then
And a
gets the
cleanup
bogey.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are outside.
We are together.
Oh my!
We are healthy.
We are inclusive.
Smile.
Smile. You are playing
Disc golf.
pdga Europe.
Smile.
Wow.
Yeah. Stroke swings on that one. Takes us into hole 5 in our final round, which was hole 16. Here's that little OB we talked about, but really shouldn't come into play for anyone. Instead, it's just a par 4, 208 meters, 2 big throws, and an easy birdie is what they're hoping for.
Yeah, here, that's a DD3. Here, what most players opt for is a backhand shot, any out of the hand, have it stable up and land somewhere there around the path. If you're a righty, this is actually a really nice position.
Yeah.
And I think Martin just threw it really soft. I think he dialed down a little bit. He doesn't want to be too aggressive.
Yeah, I think, well, it's hard to know what's going on in his head, but in knowing that he just needs to play clean and he's got it and minimize the mistakes.
So here, this is actually more of a max distance shot, going hyzer out of the hand and then have it, ride it all the way.
I believe that was my voice in the background because it was such a great drive. It was so pretty.
Yeah, this will be another rip, I think.
Can it
Oh
turn?
yeah, hits the line and it does stable up now.
Wow.
Wow, that is far.
Always great when you turn the catch cam.
I mean, you saw the spectators there. They thought they're
Yeah.
pretty safe, but
Yeah.
apparently they were not.
Yeah. You saw Johannes and
Hold
his
it,
dog
hold it.
there who
Oh, I
helped
like
with the
it.
tournament.
I like it. Nice, Ben.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
Yeah, we see the smile here.
Oh, yeah. We also briefly saw one of our local caddies. Some of our players have a typical caddy with them, and I just love seeing friendly faces and getting to know the community more. So also thank you to our caddies out there.
Toby, he's got 80 meters left. Should be fairly simple for him.
Yeah,
Straight mid.
looks clean.
For him, maybe even a putter.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, he's got 4 meters left.
Oh, maybe a little shorter. Maybe the first sort of tester putt in a bit. Let's see if Ben can get closer than Martin.
Ooh, that has a lot of juice.
Pushing the, hit the right side trees. Yeah, I've been over there. So yeah, you can end up in the trees, and even if you make it out, you get into those brennnessels, those nettles, and it's just an uncomfortable putt from that side.
Now here's interesting. That's a backhand shot. I mean, for Timo, that's simple. Wow, it's even a jump putt. Interesting. For me, that's definitely like a sidearm approach, because I would be too afraid of all the branches on the right side.
Yeah, it's interesting, that dreaded distance where it's between a jump putt and a throw, and you see why. The jump putt didn't actually work for him that time.
Ooh,
Where jump putt did work for Ben there.
Nice
Almost threw it in.
floater there.
Yeah.
Does he have a gap there?
It looks like he's going for it. Yeah, we see a window, but not enough. Toby, though, for birdie. And he gets it. Yeah, that's how to play this hole. That was really well done. So now Martin to take even more strokes over his competitors. Yeah, and he gets it.
5 for 5, Andrew.
Wow,
I'm really
incredible.
impressed.
Incredible. He's making this course look easy, but it is a tough course. It is a tough course.
Kyle also with the chance for birdie.
And moving, I think last hole moved up into second place and again gets a stroke on Timo. So, I mean, there's a lot of golf left, but really it's now switched between Martin and Timo to between Martin and Carl. Yeah, takes just the par, loses a stroke on the field.
And Ben also with a par. All right, off to hole 6, which is played as hole 17 in the regular rounds. It's a par 4 on 180 meters. There's a mandatory, probably 100 meters far away off the tee. What you want to do is a hyzer hyzer straight, and then have it fade out at around 90 meters. Lay it up there, and then from there you can attack the basket.
Yeah.
You don't want to go too early. That looks too early.
Yeah,
because you
maybe
might
the first mistake we've seen from Martin.
clip a few branches. It's okay-ish to be there. But this
It just makes it tougher second shot.
That was interesting. We don't see that too
So,
often.
Spike Heiser.
I think Carl wanted to end up a little bit further to the left. There is a rather small window to see the basket.
This might also be a little too far left.
Yeah.
So you basically want to aim at the Mando tree and miss it by a bit. You don't want to be too far left. This looks slightly better from Timo, but also a lot of Heiser.
Now, I haven't seen them in person yet, but I know that Simon and Dominik Stampfer, I think they play a roller here on this one.
Oh, yes. I saw it from Victor Brown on a past year as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see it in real life once.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
because you have these low ceilings here, and so a roller could get you through, and if it turns past the Mando tree, turns to the right. But Toby looks like he has a window.
yeah.
But that low ceiling looks like it got in his head. Cut rolled.
Same for Martin, also has a window. But the landing spot, I think it's just 15 meters wide. So he was still in there.
But you could tell he didn't like it as he yelled 4 off the throw. But it seems okay. You know, it's maybe not up to his first 5-hole standards, but it should be okay.
Yeah, you also have to be careful. The green around a basket plays really fast, so it's easy to get a skip.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good position for Timo here. And you can hear it in the background. It started to rain a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Well
the
executed.
Timo that
Wow.
we know. That's why he's one of the best in the country.
Ben has a lot of trees in front of him. Well, finds a gap somehow. And here's that fast ground.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, again, one of the few places where it does skip quite a bit, but you really need to know that. And thankfully we have some people that come year and year again, and they know it. We also have a chance to play doubles the night before the tournament. So sometimes you see these guys coming out the day before and getting to know the course. All right, long look to maintain the perfect round. But, I mean, still, what an incredible start to this final round for Martin.
For sure.
Just a little short.
And Andrew, you see the black and yellow, what is a band? That is not OB. As we mentioned before, there's pretty much no OB on this course.
Yeah, the caution tape there, just to
Unlucky.
Sort of to guide the spectators, but then also our fellow pedestrians. It is a public park, which is something I love about Berlin, is people use their parks. We often would have a cricket match happening there.
A little bit high, but Ben
it still counts.
Gets a birdie.
Still counts.
Well done.
Yeah. So really lovely to see so many community members there, and hopefully they're seeing disc golf and they're liking it and they're enjoying it. And of course, me being me, I want us to play nice, and I really like when people give the opportunity to say, hey, this is disc golf, you should check it out next year. And so it's a good shared use of Volkspark Rehberge. Which brings us into hole 7. We played as hole 9 previously, 107 meters, par 3. This one is a tricky one. You have the Mando on the left, but it plays, I believe, uphill and then downhill. Or no, downhill and then into the trees. So you have this low ceiling. Yeah, you saw -3 elevation change. Oh, that is so hard. It is hard to get that much power when you're trying to aim low as well. At least I feel that way.
Yeah, that's a hole where we're always debating what's the easier line, the sidearm line or the backhand line. I think
proving me wrong there, making it look easy.
I think I think the backhand line is a little bit easier because the gap is a bit bigger. But then the branches are coming into play a little bit later. So, yeah. Wow.
Again, Martin making it look easy. I can promise you that is not an easy shot. So for most of us, for us average players, to get max distance, you need it to have a little bit of height so it has more time to fly before it hits the ground. So when you're throwing low, it's going to hit the ground sooner. You're not going to get max distance. So for a player like me, it's really hard to get all the way to the basket with that low ceiling.
All right, here we'll see the sidearm line.
But our lead card making it look easy.
Oh, that's too high. Unfortunately.
It trickles down.
But gain some distance.
Yeah.
Now this will be an any approach. A little bit off. Well, maybe edge of circle.
Edge of circle. A makeable putt, but adding some stress to your putt.
Timo running it, and he has to.
Yeah, he needs to catch up. So for our American viewers who have not figured out metric yet,
A bit low.
100 meters is about 330 feet. So this would play about 350 maybe. So again, a tough par 3. Wow.
Jeez.
All right. One hole off, took a break, but he's back on it, back on the birdie train.
I mean, that's been one of the best final rounds I think we've seen here. 6 out of 7. Wow.
Great
Ben
birdie
also gets a birdie.
from Ben. Yeah, that was a great drive. Yeah, you see the red and white tape there for the oak processionary moth, which will... Oh, Toby, unfortunate. It'll come into play on a hole coming up where we used to have a tent. We had to move the tent because of the moths.
We also had to move the whole tournament.
Yes, move it a month earlier. So we're figuring out how to integrate with nature, integrate with the pedestrians in the park. But yeah, 38th edition, it's great that we keep this going. Okay.
And after hole number 8, 18 in the regular rounds, par 3, 118 meters. And this is where we normally have our circus tent, our tournament headquarter, which is used as a mandatory. Now, since we don't have it, there's a tree, which is the mandatory.
Mandatory. Yes, disc golf versus the Caterpillars. The Caterpillars won, unfortunately, but we'll see about next year.
And again, this is a super hyzer. Because you have to beat all the trees.
Beat all the trees.
That might be a little too straight.
Wow, what a distance, though.
Yes, and again, here on the right side, this is an auto B. every once in a while you'll see some cricket players there, and the tournament shares the park with the cricket players.
Yeah, but we always get along. There, we give the ball back to them, and they know not to touch the disc.
Yeah.
So Martin with the destroyer there, I saw that.
So
that's huge.
Plays to either go spike hyzer and just have it crash into the basket area, or try a low shot and hope. Ooh, that was a bad slip there.
I mean, but huge distance.
Holy smokes!
Wow!
That was great.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Not like the legendary slip ace, unfortunately, but that was great.
See, Carl learned from it. He put his towel down there.
Yeah. And just to note here, again, 118 meters, as I've said before, that's hard for most players. But also because you have to put it on such hyzer to go around the tree, you're adding so many linear meters to your throw. So it's actually playing even further than 118. And some of our lead card making it look easy. It's no problem.
Yeah, just a layup here from Toby.
Yeah, smart play.
Oh, you see the rain. It's coming in hard now.
Got one of those hidden branches.
$11 meters for Martin. And he also gets that one.
He makes it.
Oh, he's so dialed in. Unbelievable.
I'm not sure if it's on camera, but I remember after Martin made that, Timo turned to people next to him and was like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to beat this guy if he's making putts like that?
Absolutely. And Kai also with a beautiful birdie. Wow, that is impressive.
A birdie is hard on this hole.
Can Ben save his par? Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. So yeah, not really in contention to win it all, but really a great showing from Ben. Great to see him on lead card. Timo here for the birdie.
Wow.
I think the pressure of the day is getting to him, losing strokes to Martin early on, maybe had to push, and I think it finally got to him.
Yeah, you see, he's clearly frustrated.
Yeah, as I'm sure everyone on lead card probably wanted this win, and going into the final round knew it was within reach. But Martin has just played so clean. As we go into, here we go, hole 9. We played it typically as hole 3, but it's 103 meters, par 3. There's this right side forested area that some players try to throw over, but it's really can be jail if you end up in there.
And that is our final hole, Andrew.
Yes, as I've learned, I can never say it right, but schöne letzte.
Schöne letzte.
Yes,
yep.
Or schletzte, as they say here in Germany. Oh, what a clean throw from Martin.
Wow.
Good placement from our camera. You can see that was the glacier. Ooh, is it going to hold the turn? Yeah, that's...
So you... Off the tee pad, you don't really see the basket. It's a little hidden.
Yeah.
Behind these bushes.
And I would say that's quite a common landing area for most players, is you don't quite get the turn you need and you end up down by your volunteers.
If this is long enough, that looks too short.
Almost.
So I'd say the safe route is the sidearm.
If you have the distance.
Yes, and Timo for sure does. This might be too straight. Yeah.
I think it hit a branch there, maybe. Let's see if Toby can make it all the way down and around the corner. It's looking better.
Oh, it's fading now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yep.
Well done.
Thanks for showing us the forehand line. Yes, that's the forehand line.
Also, not to forget, Andrew, this is an elevated basket, so it makes it a little bit harder to putt there. Because if you miss it,
yeah,
you usually end up probably 2-3 meters further away from the basket than normal.
Right. Yeah, it's not something probably most players practice much. And so if you're so dialed into your putting routine for a regular sized basket, just that added height can really mess you up. Ben almost gets the birdie.
A good run here.
Good
yes.
run.
Look at Carl's round. 5 under in the final round.
Oh, and he almost had it. He almost had it.
Tickles the chains, almost gets a birdie.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and I wonder if Martin is going for it or he just lays it up.
yeah, that's a champ. You get your crowning tap-in moment. So also big shout out to Toby. Great to have him on lead card. Fun to have out there. Well-earned birdie on the last one.
Yeah, also shout out to Willy in the back who's holding the umbrella for our cameraman.
Yes.
You're in there.
Yes, thank you again. Again, I say it a lot, but it is really a team effort, and I'm a bit embarrassed to say I didn't know that until I started volunteering. Like, really so much goes into it.
Great final round for Ben. I think he's pretty happy.
Yeah, I would be.
And a very clean card for Carl.
Yes. Well done, Carl. You can listen to his coverage as well. And here we'll let Martin putt out and let you watch. What a performance.
Yeah, what a perfect final round here. He was unbeatable. He was so locked in.
Yeah.
He made the putts, the drives, everything. Just a great round.
I love the camaraderie out there. I mean, they were really so happy for him. They enjoyed playing together. Even, a couple were really in contention. They were still just so excited for Martin. So yeah, that wraps up our 2026 Berlin Open. You see our final scores here. Really runaway win in the end from Martin. What an incredible performance. But thank you again to tournament organizers, all the volunteers, all the players. Thank you to my fellow commentator, Chris, here in the booth.
Thank you, Andrew. That was fun, as always.
Yes, absolutely. And please join us again next year. We'd love to have you play or volunteer or spectate or tell your friends about it. Check out our other coverage and join us again.
See you soon.
Thanks, everyone.